Example of linear regression model. The dataset was obtained by the Google. It's starting loading the data into the pandas and checking the column, the data types, what I found. Like showing the example. In the form, like I loaded the data using the ls command, and then I loading the data types, and then age is equal to int64, and sex is an object, sex and children's the objects. The BMI is of 464, and then smoker region also, the BMI charges of the upload 64, and we children, sorry, smokers and regions of the objects and the data. And I print the data using the tabular form for the understanding the structure, how the data is look like, including the columns like age, sex, BMI, and some the smokers region charges. Next, to string the columns, and then find I want to string the columns using the pandas the confirmation, like a data types updating the successfully, like showing this is a, and the data is equal to sex and as the type of the string, and the smokers also changing the region checking the string, and the detailed data types that successfully changed. And then how you take it, okay, it successfully data is could not change anything. And then checking the null values, it's already cleaned the data while you are the data was I downloaded from the Google. The data was clean, that's why there is no null values. While you are a machine learning engineer or the data engineer with the creating any machine learning, the most of the times we have the dealing with this cleaning the data and changing the data types, or the filling some values, or fill with null values, or changing the null values. So the most of the times we are converting into the skewed data into the normal distribution, and checking for the t distributions, like, or anything else. The most of the times it deals with the data analysis process. And then checking the skews, the handling the skews. This is a formula using the numerical the data dot select d types. It's only selected the numerical value, numerical columns, and then checking the skews. The checking the skews is and the BMI is okay, that's fine. 0.2847 and 0.05, that's fine. And the children's charges, and children's charges are heavily skewed. It's heavily right skewed, and 0.938380 and 1.514 is a heavily right skewed. Then I use it to log 1p at the data transformation, at the transfer of the logs, and then checking the skews. Okay, that's fine. And the children's or 0264083, okay, that's fine. It's lightly skewed but it's not heavily skewed, and the charges also lightly neatly skewed but it's not heavily, okay, that's fine. uh, but be careful while you are the transforming any data or the columns or anything. You need to mention in the detailed or documentation, either it's a throw in error. Sometimes, like, if you want to deploy the pickle file in the the Flask or the React, sorry, if you want to deploy the React some the APIs calls, you need to mention that, like, if a user entered something values, like, you need to convert into the log and input into the pickle file, and then output will be the log form, and and need to convert the decode and exponent, and then output will be the correct, either it's like something like the one, it's a print out only the log values. There's no sense of them. That's a be careful while you are using the transformation, and write the documentation very carefully. Then you easily deploy the models. Then I checking this is any unique values of the sex and smokers and region, and there's a few unique values in the females and male, and then yes and no, and the data types like in the regions southwest, southeast, northwest, and northeast. And using the lambda function, okay, that's fine. But it's not it's a data skewed very on the regions, that's why I using the dummies. That's dummy variables like so one hot encoding. The pd dot get dummies, it gives the one hot encoding, and the sex is a male, the zeros and ones, it's a converting the male is a, it's a, if you are the male it's a 1, and female is equal to 0, and x is a smoker s is equal to 1, and either there's no smoker means zeros, and the region the tree another is create the three four columns additionally, like region northwest and region southwest in region southwest, and also there is not mentioned as a northeast also created. The four columns are additionally created if the, if the user created the northwest, either it's one, either you need to add the one, either it's a zero, and the checking the zero, and this is the formula. These are the curves. This is using the matplotlib. I train test split, train score, and validation score. After 0 to 200, okay, that's fine. When the train data is increases, the values also, the curve also, validation score also increases, and this is also same, the R score. This is R square, and while the data is increases, the curve, the validation score also increases.